All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So I'll wait couple of more minutes for others to join in. I think around 20 to 25 students are supposed to join. So we'll start with the introduction in a quick minute or two. We'll just wait for others to join in as well. All right. Great. So I think most of the students have joined in now. So yeah, good morning again. Good morning, Tanmay. Good morning, everyone. Right. So as a quick introduction about myself, my name is Gaurav Jasoria. Right, as you can see in the name of the host, and I'll be taking your chemistry lectures now. As a just a quick go through, you guys can see the screen, right? This shared screen in front of you. All right, great. So I'll just quickly briefly switch on my video as well for a quick introduction. All right, so hi everyone. Can you guys see the video as well? All right, great. Now, primarily, the mode of our communication will be through these Zoom lectures, and the mode in which I will go is that I'll be like writing on the screen, and you will be able to see what has been written. And in the meantime, in the beginning, I'll be actually putting everyone on mute. But if you have anything to say and ask, then you can quickly just raise your hand, and I'll get that notification. So I'll unmute you, and then you can ask your doubts or you can have that discussion. Okay. So this is the primary way in which we'll go about. Now let me remove the video. It's more of a distraction only. We'll focus on the screen and begin our discussion for the day. Now, this is a cover-up lecture for those students who were present last Sunday. This is going to be a repetition. So if you are there, you need not be present. Like our actual lecture in continuation will happen tomorrow. This is for the new students who enrolled in the past week. Right. So I hope everyone here is, today is your first lecture with me. I'm sure you had your physics lecture just before this, but with me, this is the first lecture. Is that correct? All right, great. Now, as per my knowledge, this batch is a mix of students from all the different boards, CBSE, ICSE, as well as state boards and IG also, right? So I'm sure you guys have some background into, what this program is about and how this program is going to help you. Now, what I'm just going to try and understand from your side, as a quick introduction towards your preparation going forward, differentiating between, board exams and competitive exams. Now, how many of you have been exposed to competitive exams before, like Olympiads, NTSC, STSC? Just trying to get a quick sense. All right. Just only two of you, Tanmay and Somil. Okay, Akanksha भी है. ठीक है. All right, others are raising hand as well. ठीक है, good, great. So any kind of competitive examination. Great, great, great. Good. Okay. Now you can remove, as in put down your hands. All right. So also, do we have students among us जिन्होंने अभी तक they have not prepared for any competitive exams, like they have their whole and soul focus primarily on the school examinations? Right. You can put it on the chat also. Like you have an option to chat, and right now the chat is private only, so you will be able to chat with me only, not with other students. All right, great. So we have one student. All right, that's good to know. So in terms of the brief background, right? I'm sure you guys have your own understanding in terms of how board examinations are, how school exam preparations are versus how competitive exams are, right? So anyone who would want to shed some light? Anyone? आप लोगों ने you would have seen the cover up lecture. Did you guys get the recording of my previous lecture on Sunday? Have you guys been given any recording or any notes yet? Okay, so there are some students who have received the recordings, but most of you haven't. Is that correct? Can you just give me a quick yes and no on the chat? I'll just get a quick idea. Okay. Okay. Some of you have been able to get that recording. Okay, great. Whereas some of you did not get. Okay. So I just quickly brief, the students who were not able to receive that recording. Last lecture that we spoke about, it was mostly an introduction session only, and towards the later part of the session हमने थोड़ा सा atomic structure chapter भी start किया था, right? But most of it was an introduction, and that introduction was to help you understand the importance of this particular program that you have or are willing to enroll into, right? So in terms of the methodology, the learning methodology that we are going to adopt, you will have your Zoom sessions on Sundays. Okay? Like for example, today is a cover up lecture on Saturday, but mostly on Sundays you will have your classes, your Zoom sessions. So these will be live class, which will include your concept learning as well as your doubt discussions. Okay. Now, as part of a class on any given Sunday, what I will do is I will assign you certain tasks. ठीक है, I'll assign you certain, like to put it in very simple words, I'll assign you certain homework. Now what you will have to do is utilize the remaining of your day on that day, ठीक है, and maybe the next day, ठीक है, Sunday plus some part of Monday to do your homework, ठीक है, any tasks or homework or assignments which I will be sharing with you. And just before the next session, which is going to be on next Sunday, okay, that is on Saturday, okay, what you should do is you should do a quick revision of what was done in the previous class. Plus, you should have your doubts prepared. Okay, I should say you should collate or kind of assemble all your doubts so that your next class is something which goes smoothly. Like you have, I can say this should be doubt preparation, right? And this should be, you can say, doubt solving. Okay, so I hope everyone is comfortable with this methodology that we are going to adopt, because see, most of your days are going to be primarily focused on your school and your board preparation. So that comes as a first priority to you. Okay. However, this program that we are starting is something which is an add-on program that would help you in your competitive examination preparation in 11th and 12th standard. Right. This program is something I'm sure you have been made aware of the benefits. This program प्राइमरीली, ठीक है, बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे बेनिफिट्स है, बट जो प्राइमरी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बेनिफिट है दैट आई लाइक टू हाईलाइट इज दैट इट गिव्स यू एन अर्ली इनसाइट इनटू हाउ योर कंपैरेटिव एग्जाम का प्रिपरेशन इज गोइंग टू बी. Now what happens is, this is something which has been kind of inbuilt in our education system, that post 10th class there is a big difference that comes in the preparation as well as the assessment of students, right? So if I talk about competitive exam prep, okay, versus your board exams, right, there are these big differences that come up. Now those who have the prior experience, okay, those students who have gone through this experience of preparing for competitive exams and board exams, I would like to kind of understand from you guys, what do you think are going to be key differences going forward? Okay, anyone who would want to chime in? All right, so I have got some answers. Some are really interesting ones. So there is one answer which is coming from Rishabh, negative marking. So, right, Rishabh, that is actually a big change. Like, for example, when you were preparing for your board examinations and you were talking about, or when you used to write long essay type answers, beach mein, even if you like write something which is not that logical, not that related to the actual question, you still don't get negative marks. But in comparative examinations, yes, there is this aspect of negative marking in which they penalize you for guessing. Okay? You will have to be sure in terms of your answer. If you are doing guesswork, then you will be penalized. Right? So that's, yes, one difference. Then there is another difference which is highlighted by Somil. Right? In fact, I can unmute you if you want. You would want to speak up something, so I can unmute you. You can raise your hand and then you can speak freely. So you have one more which is coming from Somil. right? Which is in fact an important one. When we talk about competitive examinations, right? यहाँ पर there is a lot of emphasis on problem solving. ठीक है, there is a lot of emphasis on problem solving plus I should say analytical skills, or in fact it's actually one on the same thing. Analytical skills ko if I was to simplify, like it is your ability to connect dots. ठीक है, जैसे you have certain question in front of you, so by reading that question you understand which chapter or chapters that question belongs to, then which concepts it it's being asked from, then what were the formulas in those concepts, what were the important learnings, and then connecting what is given in the question and what is being asked. Okay, the connecting of dots is what is this analytical skill is about. Okay, when we talked about board exams, right, the key skill set was I should say articulation. Okay, you would primarily remembering information is key in both the cases. Okay, however, when you have to prepare for board examinations, your ability to articulate information is what is of most importance, right? You have been asked a long essay type question. Now what the paper setter or paper designer expects is that when you are going to answer that question, it has to be very crisp, it has to be articulate in terms of the message that you want to communicate, right? And of course there are marks for good handwriting, that goes without saying. However, when it comes to these competitive examinations, you need not focus much in terms of your handwriting, right? And of course, board exams, right? You have to remember a lot of information. Okay, whereas in competitive examinations, you have to remember plus apply. Okay, there will be a lot of questions in which this application part will be featuring. Okay, you will have to, for example, you learned a simple concept. Okay, that there is acid plus base, and you mix them together, there is an acid base reaction that happens. Okay, however, what will happen in the competitive examinations is, over and above this concept, we will ask you questions that how much acid should be used for a given amount of base, right? And galti se, let's say if you pour some extra acid, then in order to neutralize that extra acid, how much another type of base can be added to do the complete neutralization, right? So what happens is, not just you are learning that application, concept, but you are also kind of going to apply that concept from a numerical point of view, which is going to mimic how things happen in practical or real life as well, right? So that is something which becomes a core focus of competitive examinations, that you are able to apply those learnings that you learned in form of concepts while solving questions, right? And of course, as in the beginning, Somil had highlighted, or in fact Rishabh had highlighted, right, that marking scheme. Okay, यहाँ पर you can say subjective questions are what are the focus of board exams, but in case of competitive exams, you have objective questions, right? Objective questions plus there is an aspect of negative marking, right? So यहाँ पर in these examinations, speed plus accuracy becomes an important skill set to acquire. Okay? Of course, speed and speed matters in subjective exams also, right? However, because the number of questions that are asked in case of competitive examinations are going to be much higher. Okay? That pressure or that factor of doing questions in a speedy manner or leaving questions, okay, because that also becomes an important skill set to acquire, that you can't get stuck on a question. If you find something that you are not able to solve, you have to quickly move on. Okay? And then in terms of the difficulty, of course, there are different benchmarks for different type of examinations. Like for example, in case of board examinations, 90% plus, okay, that becomes a norm, right? For example, most of you, who are right now sitting in this particular classroom, right? You guys are aware about, these competitive examinations. You are taking proactive steps towards, preparing for these examinations. I'm sure most of you are stellar performers. Most of you are doing really well in your schools and, different boards, and you are, academically quite strong, right? So more or less आप लोगों के लिए, right, 90% plus score करना is something which has become a norm, right? However, when we talk about these competitive examinations, right, when we talk about these competitive examinations, the absolute marks or the percentage will not matter. Okay, यहाँ पर you can say rank, right, or percentile. Okay, percentile, I'm not sure how many of you are aware about, but this is, you can say another way of describing ranks. Okay, so let's keep our focus on the word rank. That becomes important, right? So you will be not much focused on working with the absolute marks, but more with the rank, more with the, competitive environment around you, right? And in terms of, if you ask me in terms of percentage marks, right, even 50% marks sometimes are really good. Okay, especially when I talk about engineering exams. In case of medical, the percentage is a bit higher because the questions ka level is relatively easier. But in case of engineering exams, if you score 50%, 60% marks in your competitive examinations like JEE Main and JEE Advanced, you have really, really good score. This is much, much better as compared to a 90+% result in boards, right? So I hope you are able to understand and appreciate the differences that happen or that are there in terms of these competitive examinations and board examinations. This is nothing to like scare you. Okay? This is mostly to make you aware about some of the big changes that happen as part of our education system when we transition from 10th class towards 11th and 12th class, right? In your board examinations, like your syllabus, right, it used to be primarily जैसे आपका focus रहेगा 10th class का syllabus रहेगा, but when I come to competitive examinations, 11th and 12th standard syllabus together is going to be asked, right? So when 2 years ka combined syllabus is going to be asked from you, the ability to organize information, the ability to do revisions becomes quite important, right? So most of you are intelligent, okay? But what these competitive examinations would do is actually differentiate between your intelligence versus intelligence plus hardworking and organizing capabilities, right? So these exams, okay, they are very process driven, right? I'm not sure if you are very familiar with the word process driven, but what it means is that there is nothing which is going to be like last minute studies when it comes to these competitive examinations. During your journey of this year as well as upcoming years, your knowledge, your skill set is going to build gradually. Okay? Nothing is going to happen overnight. And especially if you are under the assumption that, last couple of months may is when we generally do our preparation, right? Especially, when it comes to school examinations and board examinations where, a lot of focus is on the extracurricular development, extracurricular, achievements of a student. Like board ke exams ki padhai, typically students, like, they kind of postpone it postpone it towards the examination, closer to the examination. Okay. However, when it comes to these competitive examinations, okay, your extracurriculars are going to take a backseat. They are going to become a second priority because your academic workload is going to be quite intense, and you would need to put your academic workload as a first priority. Okay. Of course, there are students who are able to manage, their extracurriculars really well. Like, I know for a fact that there have been so many students since I have started teaching who have been able to maintain a really good balance in terms of their studies as well as their extracurriculars. But yeah, in terms of prioritization, your academics do make up for that first priority, right? So this will require you to be, prepared throughout the journey of your class 11th and 12th. You can't be relaxed in terms of how you have these other school exam ka preparations. That last 3-4 months is where you will slog and be able to get the result. Okay, yahan par that consistent efforts are going to be required since day one, right? So this is a quick idea into how these competitive examination versus board exam preparation is, right? Any questions? If you would want to elaborate or ask any doubts based on just this particular piece of discussion that we did. If you have any questions, go ahead, you can ask me. All right, Akanksha, go ahead.
सर अभी फोकस किस पे होना चाहिए अभी के लिए?
See, अभी आपका प्राइमरीली फोकस बोर्ड रहेगा, ठीक है? Right now, 10th class, your first priority is your board examination. That is why this particular program is something which will be not taking up much of your time during a week. Okay, it will be, as I said, it is going to be executed in this manner that targeted days are only spent in doing this preparation. Now, what this is going to help you, as I said, this is going to help you have an early insight and early preparation into the kind of change in methodology, the change in study pattern that is required for competitive examinations. Okay, because objective problems के साथ में deal करना, analytical questions solve करना, right, with more speed and accuracy, that is something which will be the key skill set that you will need to acquire. So you will need to become, you can say, accustomed to this new method of learning. Okay, so that is where this program kind of helps you in that. Okay, and of course this has other tangible benefits associated with it. I'm sure Preeti ma'am or any other center head you would be in contact with would have informed you about the fact that the syllabus of these batches is always ahead in terms of the completion, right? As a result, students get more time for the revisions. Their syllabus runs in a smoother manner as compared to the last admissions that happen towards the later part of 11th standard. And of course the teachers are also something which are not changing. There is there is this aspect of segregation that happens with students based on their performance, based on their ranking. However, the flagship batches are something which are not segregated. They are given a consistent peer group to work with from the beginning till the end, right? And the teachers also are more or less fixed. Of course, there are different tracks which happen within each subject. So, as for example, I take care of physical chemistry as a portion, right? So once we'll start with physical chemistry. However, during your 11th standard, somewhere in the middle, there is a different track of chemistry that will start, which is related to organic chemistry. So that will be taken care of by another teacher, right? So this is something which is an introduction towards this program. Any other doubts that you would have? Otherwise, we'll quickly begin with our discussion of the chapter atomic structure. Okay, छोटा सा ही part है. I'll just quickly brief you on what that part is. All right, great. So let's begin our discussion in terms of this chapter. So from the perspective of its weightage in the examination, right? This chapter is quite important. It's the first chapter, if you will refer to the 11th class NCERT textbook, right? This chapter comes as the first chapter in chemistry. And if you will refer to the 12th standard physics textbook, this chapter comes towards the end, right? So this chapter and its concept are included both in chemistry and physics. And that is the reason why this chapter has a really high weightage. Now, the way in which we are going to study this chapter, okay? And, just to make you aware, right now, okay, you don't need to be, copying everything that is there on the screen. Okay? You really don't need to, start copying whatever information there is in front of the screen. I am going to share this recording as well as these notes. Okay? So you don't need to rush. You are definitely right now sitting in your first cover-up lecture. So no rush. You are going to get this recording and you are going to be able to copy these notes later. Okay? Now, what we are going to do is, when we are going to discuss this chapter, okay, we are going to follow an historical timeline, which makes the study of this chapter a bit more interesting. I'm sure you have some perspective of this chapter from your junior classes, right? Especially CBSE students, I know for a fact that you would have studied this chapter in class 9th and you would have gotten some basic concepts of how this study of atom is done, right? In other boards also, I'm not sure which standard it comes in, but I'm pretty sure that kisi na kisi standard mein you are made aware about atom, okay, and the structure of atom. So basics like, electron, proton, neutron, all those, subatomic particles and, initial models of atoms that were proposed by scientists like Thomson's plum pudding model, Rutherford's, planetary model of atom, the gold-foil scattering experiment, all those things. I'm sure that you have a, brief context about that, what those were. However, in this chapter, we are going to explore these older topics in a more detailed manner. Okay? And we are also going to study certain newer concepts related to the structure of atom, right? So the main focus will be towards developing our understanding of this quantum mechanical model of atom, which is the latest model of understanding the structure of atom. Okay? So this is going to be a historical evolution, right? In a chronological manner, we are going to get into the details of this. Now, the starting bit is something which is related to Dalton's law of, or Dalton's postulates of atoms, right? And these are something which I'm sure again, आप लोगों ने junior classes में एक बार देखे होंगे, right? Back in early 1800s, these were given by John Dalton when he postulated that matter is something which is made up of tiny indivisible particles called atoms. And he presented a lot of postulates based on his understanding of atoms, right? Now, we'll just quickly go through these postulates one by one, and you would notice that I have put in cross in front of each one of them, highlighting the fact that these atoms are, these postulates are no more valid. Okay? Now, why these postulates are no more valid depends on your knowledge of chemistry, right? It will give me a quick insight into how you guys have been studying in your junior classes. Was it more of a ratta, or do you remember information that you studied in your junior classes, right? So we'll start one by one with the first postulate. talking about matter being made up of small indivisible particles called atoms. Now, I'm sure that you know that this postulate does not hold true. Anyone who would want to give me an explanation of why this postulate is not true? All right, correct. We have Jainam. Bolo Jainam.
Sir, matter actually is divisible, and in nuclear fusion, exactly that occurs. That's why this theory is now discarded.
All right, good. ठीक है, तन्मय आप भी बताओ.
Various subatomic particles were discovered, like electrons, protons, and neutrons, so it does not hold valid anymore.
All right. Any other detail, Hazel? अरे आपने hand raise किया था, you took it down. Do you know something else apart from electrons, protons, and neutrons inside the atom?
There is not only electron, proton, neutron, but also other subparticles like bosons and I don't know the other names.
But you are aware. You are aware. Are you aware about
Yes.
how these got discovered?
Yeah,
कैसे?
by the cathode ray experiment.
No, not the electrons, protons. In fact, the particles which are even more fundamental than protons and
It's
neutrons.
during the experiments of radioactivity, I guess. I'm not that quite sure, but it's a suna hai.
Okay, ठीक है. Good. Anyone else? Moksh, आप कुछ कहना चाहोगे?
They are discovered by particle accelerators. You smash two atoms together at high speeds and they break down at high energy levels.
Excellent. Really good to know.
And all those.
Really good to know that you are aware about this, right? So, what had happened? ठीक है, ध्यान से यहाँ पर आप लोग सुनना. That matter is made up of atoms, but atoms are made up of even smaller particles, right? Now, those smaller particles like electrons, protons, and neutrons are something which were discovered again in late 1800s. Okay, late 1800s, or you can say early 1900 में, we got to know that these atoms are made up of even more smaller particles, electrons, protons, and neutrons. However, post that, what has happened is that we have been able to understand that these protons or neutrons, okay, they are also made up of even smaller particles. Okay? And how we got to know about this is by a very fundamental trivial concept that scientists have been using since ages now, is that what they do is they have designed really large experimental setups. Okay? When I say large, this is like a very small scale version of it. You can kind of think of it expanded over kilometers. Okay? So there are these tunnels that have been dug by scientists, okay, in Europe and other continents, where they have developed machines called particle accelerators. What these do is that they take atoms and they accelerate them. They accelerate them by making them, travel in these tunnels at really high speed, and then they eventually smash them up. And once they smash them up, right, there is this elegant breaking of smaller particles that happen. This way we are able to see what even more smaller particles are that make up these bigger particles. Okay, so you smash up atoms and what you get are what particles make up those atoms. Then you smash up those particles and you get what even more smaller particles are made up of. So this is actually a very simple, but the frontier of discovery that is happening right now in the world of particle physics. Okay, they try to understand more and more details. And अभी तो ये जो ये इसको accelerator, particle accelerator का नाम होता है Large Hadron Collider. इसका भी advanced version we are seeing that scientists are working on to improvise their sensitivity as well as the accuracy of collisions. Okay, so that's good to know. Now as part of our syllabus, ठीक है, definitely अब इसमें it is good to have that curiosity and understand in detail about all of this. As part of our syllabus, we are going to focus on electrons, protons and neutrons, ठीक है, and there is one more particle that we are going to focus on called as photon. ठीक है, क्या होता है ये, what it means, what is it, we are going to talk about at an appropriate time, right? However, right now just wanted to help you understand the boundaries of our syllabus. हाँ, बोलो ऋषभ.
No, I was saying that photons are the particles of light.
Right. We are going to talk about in a particular theory called as quantum theory of light. Good to know. Okay. All right. Who can talk about the second postulate and negate it? Give me an example of why the second postulate is not correct. हाँ, बोलो मोक्ष.
So mass and energy are they can be converted into one another. So atoms can technically be destroyed and turned into energy. By Einstein proved that. So atoms technically can be destroyed. The conservation of mass is not complete.
ठीक है. So what is going to happen is, earlier when chemical reactions were being studied, right? When chemical reactions were being studied, what we observed was that atoms do not get destroyed. They just change the molecule which they were earlier part of. So for example, if you notice this simple reaction of combustion of methane, इनमें carbon, hydrogen and oxygen के जो atoms हैं, they are not going to get destroyed. They just change the molecule which they were making, right? So this was our understanding that atoms can neither be created nor destroyed. However, when we talk about nuclear reactions, when we talk about nuclear fission or nuclear fusion, right, what we are observing is that atoms can be created and can be destroyed as well. So this postulate becomes incorrect when we bring in the context of nuclear reactions. All right, the third one. All right, so we have Rishabh. Batao Rishabh.
Sir, atoms are not the smallest particles. Instead, it is the electrons that take part in a chemical reaction and are the smallest particles that take part.
Correct. Right. So this was pretty simple to understand. You would have noticed that when chemical reactions happen, okay, it is the electrons which are given or taken or exchanged or shared, which happens during these reactions. It is not the atom which is the smallest entity that takes part in the chemical reaction. Good. All right. Next one. Who will negate the next one? All right, we'll pick up someone else now. We have Somil. हाँ, Somil, आपने कुछ नहीं बोला है?
Sir, atoms of the same element may also have the same number of protons but do not have the same number of neutrons, as in the isotopes.
Right. So isotopes can be an example to negate this point, which talks about atoms being identical, ठीक है, of an element. Correct. Right. What about the next one? Atoms of different elements have different mass, shape, and size. All right. So we have Tanmay. Batao Tanmay.
You said this isobars, different elements can have the same mass, so this holds invalid, just as in isobars.
Right. With the help of isobars, you can have that the atoms of different elements can have
the same mass.
Almost the same mass.
Yes, sir.
Right. Exactly तो नहीं रहेगा, but yeah, you can say almost the same mass. Correct. All right. Then the last one, ठीक है, in which atoms of different elements combine in a fixed ratio by mass of small whole numbers to form compound. Again, this is something which can be negated if we take an example of isotope. Like for example, if we have CO2 as a compound in which carbon and oxygen are present and the ratio by mass is 12:32, right? I'm sure you know the atomic mass of elements, right? This is not coming as a surprise to you that what is 12 and what is 32, right? Atomic mass of carbon is 12 and oxygen is 16. And since there are two atoms of oxygen, so the ratio of carbon is to oxygen is 12:32 in case of normal CO2. But if I take an example of radioactive CO2 in which the carbon present is not C12 but C14, right? आप लोगों ने सुना होगा इस C14 के बारे में. This is a radioactive isotope of carbon, right? It is found in a very less percentage, but it is something which is quite important and plays a very important role in knowing the age of fossils, right? Carbon dating, अगर आपने ये word सुना हो in your junior classes, right? So coming back to the point, this C14, because of it, the ratio in which mass of carbon and oxygen is going to be different. So ये fixed जो term है, ये गड़बड़ हो गया, ठीक है? That elements combine in a fixed ratio. That fixed can get changed if we use again isotopes. All right. So good to know that you are quite aware about atoms and the future changes that happened with Dalton's postulate. That's great to understand. Now what we are going to do is deep dive into the atom itself, right? So when we are going to talk about atom and going to deep dive inside, we are going to talk about the subatomic particles. Now, in terms of subatomic particles, one of the most important ones is electron. So what led to the discovery of electron around 1850s is something which is an interesting observation, interesting experiment called as cathode ray tube experiment, right? Now, notice करना that इस experiment का setup कैसा है, ठीक है? This experiment यहाँ पे notice करना was actually designed to study the conduction of gases at low pressure, right? So what happens in the setup of this experiment is that you have a simple glass tube, ठीक है? Inside this glass tube there is a gas that is present, but what we need to do is we need to bring the gas to low pressure. Now how do I bring the gas to low pressure? I suck out most of the gas from this glass tube. Like I'll use a vacuum pump to suck out most of the gas from this glass tube, and what we'll have is gas at a very low pressure inside. Okay? And then you have two electrodes on either side of this tube which are connected to a very high potential difference source. So this experiment was actually not something designed to discover electron. It accidentally happened that we got to know about electron. Okay, what it was designed to actually study the conduction of gases at very low pressures. Okay, what scientists were expecting कि ऐसा setup होगा and we will use such a high potential difference. So at max, what they were expecting was they will observe certain spark, okay, certain lightning jolt that might happen inside this tube. That is what they were trying to, that is what they were expecting. But what happened was something different. They observed a strange green glow on the glass walls. Okay? And this is not something which comes, really in the beginning. Okay? With certain modifications, they were able to see this green glow. Now, to help you, visualize this better, I have this link. I have this YouTube link which I would share with you over chat. Okay? And I would like you to spend some 2-3 minutes into this video. It's not a long video. Okay? Just click on it and make sure that you are able to see the complete video. Okay? I can also share it up over here. Let me open this. in my screen also. However, what will happen is that there will be actually a lot of lag. Okay, यहाँ पे let me open this up. Okay, can you guys see on my screen? Okay, I think most of the students have gone to YouTube and started seeing the video. I'll wait for a minute or two. Let everyone watch the video. Then मैं आप भी video देख लो एक बार. फिर मैं discuss करूँगा. All right. Now I hope everyone is back. आप लोगों ने वीडियो देखा होगा, right? Now इस वीडियो का सेटअप मैं आपको समझा देता हूँ. Like this is your glass tube, ठीक है? And this right here is a pump. This is to suck out the gas from inside of this tube, ठीक है? Then on the left hand side you have cathode. On the right hand side you have anode, which are connected to this generator behind. This generator is used to generate that high potential difference, right? Now, what happens is as you progress in this video, okay, they show you all these parts of the equipment. Then ये spark जो हो रहा है ये tube के अंदर नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है? This spark happens in the generator to generate the high potential difference, and then they focus on the tube, correct? So this is the frame in which right now you see this pink kind of a glow inside the tube, okay? Now this pink glow fades away in a while. And how is this fading away? You can see actually this pink glow, मैं आपको explain करूँगा in the next class, that this pink glow is because of the gas that was present inside. Now as the gas is being sucked out, ठीक है, यहाँ पर आप notice करना, ये यहाँ पर जहाँ पे मैंने cursor point किया हुआ है, ठीक है, this was the vacuum pump. So the gas is being sucked out. As the gas is being sucked out, ठीक है, what happens is that eventually we are able to see this green glow on the glass walls, ठीक है? Now this green glow is something what I was talking about, ठीक है? This green glow is something which was what the scientists observed, ठीक है? Now coming back to the simplistic, like ugly drawing which I have in front of you, okay? So please pardon my handwriting and drawing. It is not the best in the world, so I will try to make up for it. मेरा board के ऊपर इतना बुरा handwriting नहीं आता था. Like on whiteboard my handwriting was still much better. However, on this tablet screen kind of mode, I have still not been able to improve or make do with the handwriting. Now this was a real experiment that I showed you, which talked about this experiment and the observation of this green glow, okay? Now in real life, okay, in most of the new age experiments, ठीक है, what is happening is that already यहाँ पर vacuum create किया हुआ था, ठीक है. So ऋषभ का doubt है, sir, in real life videos we see the green glow coming instantly, right? So that is correct ऋषभ. ये जो particular experimental setup मैंने आपको दिखाया, इसमें what they did was that they sucked out the air simultaneously as the experiment was going, ठीक है. In the new age tubes, which we call as vacuum tubes, उसमें already like under there is no gas present inside, ठीक है. So the moment you switch it on, the electrons from cathode, they strike the glass wall and create this green glow, ठीक है. However, because I am going through a historical perspective, right, I would want to मैंने बहुत ढूंढ के एक्सपेरिमेंट निकाला था, because I really wanted to show you the setup of an olden time of how it happens when the air is sucked out simultaneously and what that pink glow and green glow would be. वो pink glow भी हम लोग study करेंगे थोड़े टाइम बाद. That is actually because of anode rays, ठीक है, but मैं वो समझाऊंगा आपको बाद में. अभी right now this green glow was something which increased or aroused the curiosity of scientists at that point in time कि green glow आ कहाँ से रहा है, ठीक है. उन लोगों को तो पता ही नहीं था. They did not know what atom के अंदर is. They did not know electron. They did not know nothing. They just knew that there is something inside which is creating this green glow. Now, in order to study this green glow, they decided to do certain modifications to this experimental setup. And one of the first modifications which they did was that they placed an object in the path between cathode and anode. And what they observed was that there was the shadow of the object that was cast on the wall behind anode. Okay, so an object was placed and uska shadow was being cast on the glass wall behind anode. So what made them conclude was that, okay, this glow is because of certain rays, okay, and these rays are traveling from cathode towards anode. Okay, they are traveling from cathode towards anode. That's why the shadow is forming behind anode. And they gave the name cathode rays to these rays. That because of this setup, we have generated some rays called as cathode rays. Now they did another quick modification in this setup. ध्यान से यहाँ पे read करना. That instead of placing a thick object, okay, what they did was that they placed a very thin metal sheet this time. And what they found out that these rays were able to penetrate this thin sheet of metal and create a glow on the opposite side. So what they concluded was that these rays are different from light rays as they are able to penetrate through thin sheet of metal. So these rays, ठीक है, यहाँ पे अच्छा बहुत carefully notice करना. The rays which are coming, they are not green. The rays are invisible to human eye. Only when these rays are striking the glass wall, we are seeing this green glow. Okay, so if someone asks you that are cathode rays green in color, your answer is no. Your answer is that cathode rays are invisible. Like you can't see those cathode rays. Only when they are striking the glass wall, this green glow is coming out. Okay? And this next modification, the second modification, this talks about that these rays which are coming from cathode towards anode, these are not like light rays, because if it were like light rays and we placed a very, very thin sheet of metal, like light rays will not be able to penetrate that thin sheet, that thin foil. Okay? They will still be blocked by that thin sheet of metal. However, if we place a very thin sheet of metal in path of these rays, what they were observing was that they were able to penetrate that thin sheet and create a glow on the opposite side. So these rays were different from light rays. Okay, these cathode rays were different from light rays. Now they did another quick modification. What they did was that they placed, okay, I'm just drawing a very simple setup that हाँ, मैं आपके डाउट्स लेता हूँ एक एक करके. Let me just quickly go through this third modification. That between cathode and anode, they placed a very light paddle wheel. Okay. What do I mean by light paddle wheel? Like something which can rotate quite easily. Right, that paddle wheel was placed, and when the setup was switched on, we saw that this paddle wheel started rotating. It underwent mechanical motion. So what was concluded was that these rays, they are made up of certain particles. Okay, this was the conclusion, that when these particles are striking this paddle wheel, momentum is getting transferred, which is causing this mechanical motion. Okay, so these rays were then thought to be made up of certain particles, and these particles were given the name. What was the name given to these particles? Any guess? No, Rishabh. These particles were not given the name electron at that point in time. ठीक है, उस टाइम पर इलेक्ट्रॉन वर्ड कॉइन ही नहीं हुआ था. उस टाइम पर इन पार्टिकल्स का नाम दे दिया था कैथोड रे पार्टिकल्स. ठीक है, of course how unoriginal, but that is what these particles were given the name, that these are cathode ray particles. ठीक है, इलेक्ट्रॉन आने में, इलेक्ट्रॉन वर्ड कॉइन होने में अभी टाइम है. This was around 1850s that they discovered some particles forming these cathode rays, and they called them cathode ray particles. ठीक है, then there were certain other modifications which were also done, which we are going to talk about in the subsequent class. And यहाँ पर I have attached another link of these modifications. ठीक है, you will, if you will open this or click on this link, ठीक है, I will share this link in this PDF only. तो इसमें ये link पे आप click करोगे, so you will be able to see these modifications which we are going to continue in the next class as well. ठीक है. Now coming back to the doubts that you have. So there is a doubt which is coming from Rishabh, that why only green glow is seen when the rays strike the wall. Why only green glow? Why not yellow, pink, orange? Okay. So iska answer, Rishabh, I will be able to give you after we study Bohr's model. Okay. Because when these particles strike the glass atoms, okay, there is something that happens that gives out these rays. So now these rays are green rays, not blue, not red. That is something which is dependent on the atom that they're colliding with. Okay. So this is something वो आप Bohr's model में मैं आपको बताऊंगा. ठीक है. हाँ, this is because of what happens is, ये Bohr's model में आपको बताऊंगा कि ये particles जब यहाँ पे strike करते हैं ना, ठीक है, तो ये जो ग्लास के एटम्स है, ठीक है, ग्लास के एटम्स दे गेट एक्साइटेड. ठीक है, व्हाट इज मेंट बाय एक्साइटेशन? दिस इज समथिंग व्हाट आई विल कवर इन बोर्स मॉडल, दैट दीज ग्लास के एटम्स गेट एक्साइटेड एंड देन अपॉन डी एक्साइटेशन दे एमिट these green rays. ठीक है, so this is something you can kind of think of why sun is giving out rays, because what happens inside the sun also is that at high temperatures, hydrogen and helium ke atoms are continuously undergoing collisions, and because of those collisions, the excited atoms, okay, these atoms get excited, and when they de-excite, they emit all sort of these different rays. Okay, so the underlying principle is same only, but yeah, we'll be able to cover those details while discussing Bohr's model. All right, any other doubt? Rohan, Hazel, आप लोगों का doubt I think on the same lines ही था, so I think you are able to get that understanding. ठीक है, बाकी इसके आगे का discussion, that is what we are going to resume in tomorrow's class. So I'll share these this recording and this small bit of a PDF with you. ठीक है, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll close the session for the day. All right, I'll take that as a no. So then thank you so much guys for attending and being patient. Okay, we are going to resume from here only in the next class. You have some doubt, Aditya?
Sir, I had a doubt. So in the cathode experiment, so the rays don't pass through the glass then?
No, they would be some. So okay, like these electrons that are coming out, okay, some of them, very less percentage might be able to penetrate. Okay,
sir.
these cathode ray particles. Okay,
Yes.
but most of them aren't. Most of them aren't able to, and that is why when they strike the glass atoms, they are creating this kind of a glow. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. सो ये मॉडिफिकेशंस वाला वीडियो भी मैं आप लोगों के साथ में शेयर कर देता हूँ ऑन द चैट बॉक्स राइट नाउ, जस्ट एज अ एंडिंग नोट. यू कैन वॉच दिस वीडियो. ठीक है, इसमें थोड़ी बहुत एक्स्ट्रा चीजें भी है आखिरी में. लाइक इन दिस वीडियो बेचारे टेडी को एक्सरे से भी एक्सपोज किया जा रहा है. सो यू विल बी सीइंग दोज modifications. We are going to discuss them in the next class. ठीक है, हाँ बोलो सौमिल.
Sir, the cathode rays do not damage the electrodes.
No, not really. Like in terms of any physical damage, like we don't see any major damage that happens. But of course, when these cathode rays they strike the other side, okay, at a very small atomic scale, they are creating ions.
Okay, sir.
All right. ठीक है. Then thank you guys. Let me close the session for the day. We'll meet tomorrow. You are going to get the link and these recordings as well. हाँ, all right. आदित्य कुछ पूछना है आपको?
No, sir, I forgot to lower my hand. Sir.
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है. All right. चलो. Take care guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye.